How did your people jump the pond and did they become citizens? Maybe you are still in search of that elusive immigration or naturalization record. Well, our speaker, Rich, is here to help you. He's got you covered with two talks at the Family History Center. Let's hear from Rich of Rich's Roots.
Hey there. How are you?
Hey, Rich. So, what are you going to present at this Family History Sampler?
So, I will be doing a talk on discovering your immigrant's origins and a talk on naturalization records, what they are, how to find them, and how they'll be useful in your research.
So, what was the first immigration or naturalization record that you found, and what did you learn?
One of the first records that I remember finding was the ship manifest of my great grandfather, his siblings, and his mother coming from Italy to the United States in 1913. And this was like back in my early days of genealogy, but also back in the early days of ancestry. And so, you had to do a lot of like Boolean searching and all that kind of stuff, wildcards and whatever. And their name was spelled differently than what I was used to. And that was the first time that I'd thought that the name might have been different in the old country than it was in the
Yeah.
United States. And so, this was like 20 years ago now, but it was a great lesson to learn that, what the name is here, even if it's an ethnic name here, it might still have been different before they immigrated or, in their first years of life in the United States.
So, what makes immigration and naturalization research so difficult?
It's difficult because the laws change so much over time, and because they changed, the records changed, and the information on the records changed. And so folks that have more recent immigrant ancestors tend to find much more helpful documentation on ship manifests, in alien registration files, in naturalization records. And some earlier, folks that have earlier immigrant ancestors often have a lot more difficult time obtaining records that really help with determining a place of origin, or even there's such a dearth of information on the record itself, it's hard to determine if it's actually your person or not. And so it can be difficult to really dig into some of these records because you've got to know a lot about the laws that were in place at the time when you're researching.
And so, what's one of the myths that are actually holding people back from finding their ancestors?
A lot of times when we talk about immigration records, people want to look at ship manifests, and they think there should always be a ship manifest for everybody that came to the United States, of their own volition, and naturalization records. They think everybody that came to the United States must have become a citizen, and so they're searching for that record, and that, those records will surely answer the questions that you have of place of origin or something like that. And there's actually a lot of other documents that might be helpful
Ooh.
about your immigrant ancestors' alien status or their alien registration status. They may have never become a citizen. They might not have come on a ship. Maybe they arrived through a land border. Maybe they came in the 50s or 60s on a plane. And so I think that because people, think that these are the two records that they should find for every immigrant ancestor and don't take into consideration why they may not find those records for every person, may help them from discovering some of the other records that could be really helpful or useful in regards to their immigrant ancestors.
And if they come on May 20th, they're going to learn about all of these other things, right, Rich?
Sure will.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Please register. You can join us at the beautiful Historical Society of Pennsylvania, or you can attend from home. May 20th. Please register for the Family History Sampler. Thank you so much.
Thanks. See you then.